Get Daddy's show off there. Put the roundtable on there. All right, good.
Everybody riot, organized chaos, nobody quiet. We're gonna try a seance. Communication and communion with the world's greatest icon. Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. I've joined the...
All right, and we are live with the roundtable here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. As always, I'm your host, John Brecco. What is up, guys? What is up? Thank you for tuning in. We got a very special guest tonight. Shout out to Michael Katz for getting me in contact with this man. This man owns his own media company. This man's name is Ryan Downey. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. I got that right? I just want to be sure that I got that right first off.
Yeah, no, that's completely right. On social media, you're going to see Ryan Downey Jr., but I am no junior, so...
All right. I just wanted to double check and make sure because I just got in contact with you last night. First of all, I want
Literally.
First off, I want to give a shout out to Manny Sierra and Felicia Madison. They were both supposed to be on the show. They unfortunately couldn't make it. Hopefully Felicia could come on next week. But, because of that, I got to get in contact with you. So apparently you know Michael Katz, you know Ben Gorski, you know all those guys. So I guess the first thing I want to ask is, tell me how you guys all got involved with each other.
So it's actually a funny story. Back in, I would believe, 2016, before I was really focusing on video, I was managing a couple artists, and one of the artists I was managing got a small gig over at SOBs in New York, and they were opening up for it was like a kind of like a Who's Next type artist type thing, and Meta Noise was also performing that night. And it just so happened I walked up to the front of the stage, was really liking their stuff, held my phone up, and it so happened that I had a Mets phone case at that time, and they're huge Mets fans. So they was like, "Oh, you're the Mets guy filming us, right?" So I sent them the footage. I had a quick video, and since 2016, I shot one of their music videos. I've been obviously in touch with Michael Katz since then, and I guess just by transition met Ben also, and then did one of his music videos. All great guys.
Yeah, no, the one he was telling me about, like Michael Katz specifically, the music video he told me that you did was the one for Focus. So why don't you give me an example of, how the experience, doing the videos for them has gone. You can use that if you want, or if you want to use one of Meta Noise's song as like an example, walk me through it.
Yeah, no, so well, Ben was a good example because that was actually his first music video ever. I go into these things very open-minded. I depending on the artist and depending on what they want to do, I try to leave it very open-ended. And I show up with the camera, and I'd be like, all right, just kind of take me through what you're feeling with the song. Of course, we're going to have to be playing the song over and over and over again during the day, so just tell me what it means to you. And so with Ben, he's very at home in Pennsylvania on Mount Pocono. So I said, all right, take me around the area, and we just filmed different locations. Had him just show me what's a natural day for Ben like, and it so happened to be raining, but whatever. We brought out the camera anyway, and that's just a normal day for him. And it kind of felt likewise with the twins too. They don't want to leave the area. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They want to show off their home, and that's pretty cool. And I was seeing sides of Mount Pocono that I hadn't seen before, and just seeing what they do in their home. And it's always just a fun experience, just not really have a set start A to B finish of a video, but just leave it open-ended and see just what the outcome is.
Okay, you said that they wanted to, kind of get everyone to have a glimpse of their home. like other than that, did they have an idea of what they wanted to do, or did they like keep it like very open ended, kind of with that?
Yeah, it's very open ended. Like I saw in one of their previous videos that I haven't done, is that they just kind of like just invite their friends over just to hang out. They anything from a house party to just, all right, let's just chill on the couch, just bumming out, watching cartoons, watching movies.
Okay.
Anything. They've done stuff where I like to go a little bit more cinematic with my shots, so we've even brought it outside to where they want to go. All right, let's show more of Mount Pocono. Let's show more of like the open air and the woods type stuff around us.
Okay, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. I just wanted to get a sense of that for myself. But
Mhm.
all right, I guess the next thing I want to ask, I want to backtrack a little bit. Like, is videography kind of like the first thing that you got involved with, or was it like managing artists? Like, take me kind of like through how you got involved with music in general.
I guess it was, well, music in general can honestly really go back to birth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a long way back because I just had my uncle was a drummer in the '80s, and it's always just kind of been around me.
Okay.
But for I guess like personal stuff, I did radio in college. I did Rutgers radio,
Okay.
and kind of just built up like just the general. It was an open format there, so I wasn't limited to just EDM or just alternative rock or just jazz or anything like that. There was all sorts of music. So.
Yeah.
In which it helps in my type of video work because I don't want to focus on just rap and just hip hop. As you can see with Ben and the Twins, it's very vast differences. So what I wanted to do is I'm very much into photography and video just for personal fun. You know, I just want to take a camera with me on vacation,
Yeah.
and I guess in a way, just wanted to incorporate music somehow, whether it be maybe concert photography or take just behind the scenes type video because I didn't think at any point like I would ever be like directing type stuff.
Yeah.
I was just want to be behind the scenes, and then eventually I had a couple friends that I met while I was at Rutgers say, hey, do you want to just link up and do some stuff? It's nothing too serious, but I'll just see where it goes. And it ended up after graduating, I graduated 2015, and then he wanted me to manage him, and we ended up. Don't even ask me how. We ended up at South by Southwest performing at a couple things,
Okay.
and we that's how I really started picking up more video work because at that time Lil Pump was down there in 2016 and when I'd heard of him. So I'm like, oh, I got this little dreadheaded kid on my camera. And lo and behold, pretty much like 2 months later, that's just one of the video footage. Oh, you want to shoot my video? You want to do this? Want to do that? And
Gotcha.
snowballed into today.
All right, well, that's awesome, man. That's a hell of a way to get your start, you know. But
Yeah, thank you.
But I gotta ask you, do you feel like doing radio in college, is what kind of broadened your music range? Because I know when I did radio through college, because that's how I started doing this too. Like I wouldn't necessarily say it broadened like the range of genres I was into, but what it did broaden was like all the different songs that I knew. So do you feel like it broadened like your, I guess, knowledge of music in any way?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it introduced me specifically to songs because I guess I was always pretty open ended to begin with. I'm the type where I don't say like, hey, I don't like country music. I would rather just judge the song as it's being played.
Yeah.
So radio, I think, just gave me more of the tool to explore music rather than discover new songs. Because I guess with the internet coming out in my younger generation, it's everywhere. You can find it no matter what, even when LimeWire was around or whatever. And now I would say it just gave us more tools to say, hey, this is how you can like cut and edit stuff. This is how you can operate like an actual microphone and not just your iPod microphones or iPhone microphones. And eventually by my senior year, they actually, when I purchased my own camera, they allowed me to go on a trip with the radio team to kind of film the behind the scenes of our sports teams sometimes travel, our media sports teams sometimes travel with basketball.
Yeah.
So it gave me a chance to do like a behind the scenes type thing for when our women's team went to the NCAA tournament. And I guess I would say that was one of like the first like project videos I'd worked on.
Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense. What was I about to ask? I had a question. Oh wait, this is what I was losing it for a second, and then I just remembered exactly what it was. But I remember, like, just on like the topic of like music and like not necessarily like judging like a song by I guess its genre. I remember there used to be like certain genres I loved, and then there was certain genres that I just wasn't open to listening to. When the more you get exposed to music throughout your life, the more that that kind of changes. But I remember like back in like my younger days, I would listen to like rap, hip hop, some kinds of rock, and but my genre, the genres that I liked, didn't really go past what was like with like 2000s, I guess I would say, except for like a few artists maybe. But then and this actually happened to me my senior year, I started listening to country music because I'd heard it so often back when I played football, lifting weights, in high school. Then I heard it from a couple friends, and then I started realizing that I actually like some of these songs, so I started checking it out, and it's become one of my favorite genres. So it's just interesting, and I just started thinking about it, how you go through life and how your taste in music can just change over time, and how I guess it can adapt in a way, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's not even just a matter of. I mean, this can happen over a year.
Yeah.
I've seen music tastes change, and I've always been pretty open. Like, I mean, I've been taking Uber rides around, and one Uber I had this morning was playing Arabic music, and then the one home was playing like top 40 music, and I was open to listening to any of it.
Yeah.
So because it's all just pretty cool. Just honestly, I used to also DJ in college, like at house parties and stuff. So the different beat counts are pretty cool, and percussion patterns. So.
Yeah. And I can imagine at Rutgers you had to like, DJ at like a bunch of different kinds of parties because of all the different,
you know what? It made me never want to DJ again. How many different requests you get? They're like, when you show up at the place, they're like, all right, play this music. But then all the people come up to the DJ booth saying, no, play this music. And I just want to take my laptop and go home and go to sleep.
Did you ever have the urge to hit somebody with the laptop or no?
Pretty close. Mostly not even because of the request, but mostly because they constantly put beers on the table around the laptop. So if they're gonna spill beer on it, I have nothing else to do but hit with the laptop anyway. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Why do I feel like there's a specific story to this though?
Because it's happened many of the times. Well, there was one house that was, I would say, it's happened almost every single time that there's the beers around, but I would say the one house that had, I can't remember the name of it, but they actually had a little bit of a raised booth, and they surrounded it in chicken wire, so there's pretty much only a door in and a door out, and they put one of the guys just outside the door, so there was no way anyone could touch it.
Oh,
so that was probably, shout out to them, if I can remember their name before the end of this, because... yeah, they're the ones that prevent the one beer spilling rather than all of them.
All right, because I kind of want to figure out who this is. Like, you got me, like, wondering, man.
No, there isn't a specific chick either. It was many because you can just take up walk. I'd say in the fall and winter times, if you could take a walk up and down College Ave between the hours of, let's say, like 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., it's quite the jungle.
Oh, my God. And I remember there was one day close to Halloween where I was actually walking down College Ave because I went to visit a friend, and she wanted to go hop all the different frat houses that night, and I just said, okay, fuck it. And it's a fucking madhouse around College Ave at 12 o'clock in night on Halloween, or even like 1 or 2. It's a fucking madhouse everywhere you go. It's insane.
An absolute zoo. And I don't know what year you had gone over there, if you remember anything called Rutgers Fest at all. And that was pretty much just an open and free concert to anyone in the area, not even just Rutgers students. And the last one that they held was my freshman year, and I attended it, and I can understand why it was the last one, because it was absolute mayhem. The artists were Pitbull, 303, and Yellow Wolf.
No wonder.
And the concert ended by, I want to say, like 6 p.m., but people were blacked out by noon.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's stumble up to one of the buses and over to College Ave and get ourselves a fat sandwich.
You're not gonna.
And we're approaching.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
No, I shouldn't have interrupted. I thought you were like done.
No. It's totally fine. No, we were just waddling up to one of the buses. This was Bush campus, where the football stadium is, and we get to the student center and we see a bus, and it's sitting there at the student center. It says right across the front ticker where it normally shows what letters it is, where it's going, and it said "Have a nice day," and I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if it's just a special service shuttle or something for it. And we're looking, and there's a bus driver that was just kind of just sitting there, just kind of was like either dazed or slumped. And I said, what's going on? And it's like, I have someone I was waiting out there, the doors were closed, everyone was still packed in the bus. And they said, someone had knocked out the bus driver. And I was like, that's a wonderful start. So the doors eventually opened up. I guess we came to, and let everyone out. We pile in, and off we go to College Ave. Ended up in College Ave safely, thank God. And we get outside, and we're waiting for maybe, I want to say, like, not even 20 minutes, and we hear pop, pop, pop.
Oh,
it was definitely not fireworks, because there's no soil to even plant them in around New Brunswick.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were, we found out the next morning a couple gunshots had gone off. And so we got our fat sandwiches and pretty much ran them from there. Didn't even wait for a bus.
We heard some gunshots, got a fat sandwich, and went on with our lives. That's how that story went just now.
Yeah, and you should make that into a t-shirt now that you said that out loud.
Like you did, like you were just casually walking, and then you heard a couple noises, and you just kept walking anyway.
Yep. And we couldn't even tell you which way they were coming from, so we probably, most likely, knowing my luck, were walking right towards it.
I mean, you didn't get shot, so it's really not like it matters, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad everybody's okay. I'm just saying.
The better story, we'll say we walked right into danger.
Just be like, oh, shit, we went the wrong way. Tuck and roll?
Yeah, tuck and roll. Yeah, take cover, throw the grenade.
No, but you're never going to stop Rutgers students from drinking, even if you have a concert in the day. You're never going to stop college students from doing that, to be honest, especially when it's pitch.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to stop that. But, all right, I do have to ask, though, the night you heard these gunshots fire, did you guys at least try to do the fat sandwich challenge?
Not that night. I hadn't signed up, obviously, because you're gonna have to let them know ahead of time when you're gonna be doing this so they can make it.
Okay.
But I had gone to since I had been a student there. Of course, the fat sandwich is like you're pretty much a staple. You might as well just have it in your bloodstream at that point. Yeah. So I had gone to the trucks to say, all right, well, let me see how much I can eat. I had gotten got down one. 3/4 down the second one, and that was about it. I probably ordered the heaviest of fat sandwiches.
Okay.
My go-to was one called the Fat Sacks.
Okay.
It's think about this: grilled chicken, mozzarella sticks, bacon, barbecue sauce, and French fries.
That sounds so good.
And yeah, I just kept ordering that, and that wasn't very bright of me.
All right.
So
Did you
yeah.
go? Did you go into this hungry though?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you're gonna have to
Okay.
go in hungry, and you're gonna have to eat quickly. Because if you try to just
Yeah. If
enjoy
you,
any flavor of this, it's over.
yeah, because it's gonna sit there, and then you're probably gonna want something to drink if you're like taking your time with it because of like the bread and everything else in it. Mozzarella sticks are dry as fuck, especially, or they can
And do
be.
the French fries too, and it's
Oh
just
yeah, that'll
one
do it.
big ball of gluten in your stomach.
Yeah, you get some French fries that have been sitting there for a while. You're gonna be taking down a whole glass of soda before you know it.
Yep, and that's with all the sugar too. Forget it. So there's a science to it that I have yet to understand.
All right. There's the only reason why I'm asking is because I have wanted to do this for a while, and I'm trying to like see like if you were like going like slower with it, like how hungry you went into it. Because the plan for when I finally do it is just to not eat the whole day and do it at like 10 o'clock at night. To be completely honest with you,
You're probably gonna have to honestly go in drunk.
going drunk,
Um,
you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or and maybe not totally like hammered because you're gonna
Yeah.
want some type of coordination to be able to separate out the sandwiches.
Well, yeah,
Definitely at least buzz,
yeah.
and hungry. So probably limit your drinking beforehand so you don't just black out. And let's see. For go from there, I would definitely look for a light sandwich.
Yeah.
You don't have to go vegetarian, but don't go with something like we said with a lot of mozzarella sticks and French fries.
Yeah.
And what you're going to want to do is there's no rule. I believe there's no rule against it, but just opening up the sandwich and just taking out the fries and eating them separately. It makes
Okay.
the sandwich go down a little bit easier.
All right. Since we're on the topic of this, can you actually tell me the rules?
So the last I've heard, it was 5 sandwiches in 45 minutes.
Okay, that's what I heard.
Yeah, and it's sandwiches of your choice, and you just have to finish them.
Okay, that's pretty much it.
Yes, and no throwing up and no bathroom or anything like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're trying not to get you to release the beast. I understand that.
Yeah, no making room of any sort, whether it be the front or back end.
All right, I gotta ask though, if you do finish, can you throw up after if need be?
I totally believe so. Once it's
right,
shown that you finished, yeah, if you can hold down a good vomit, man, power to you.
That is all that matters. To be completely honest, I just want to name it the Fat John Boy. That is all I want. I can cross something off my bucket list once I at least try that.
Yeah, I would frame that on a wall, absolutely.
Absolutely, like put it right on the fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Mom, this is what I've grown to.
Put it
exactly on the fridge.
I'll put it right next to the gold star Miss Puff gave me.
Exactly.
Like, how
exactly.
could you not? Oh
No,
man.
it's right.
All right. Next thing that I want to ask is you said you went to Rutgers.
Correct.
All right. Rutgers Fest. About that, since we were talking about it earlier. When did you graduate?
I graduated Rutgers 2015. I did 5 years there because I had changed my
Okay.
major a few times.
All right, then it wouldn't have been Rutgers Fest is something that would have happened for me because you're actually a little bit older than me. I graduated in 2017, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. So I wouldn't. There was no way I would have been to Rutgers Fest. I just wanted to see if there was any chance I would have gone there because it sounds familiar. Because my aunt went to Rutgers, so she's been taking me to like Rutgers games and events for as long
The
as I can
last
remember.
one would have been the spring of 2011.
Okay, yeah, I was in high school then. That wasn't at that.
Yeah, so it's definitely good you stayed home.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Cause that was when I was just like starting to drink. That was like sophomore year. That was when I was getting exposed to alcohol. I wasn't ready for that.
Right.
I would have thought I was back then, but I wasn't ready for that back then.
I wasn't either, and I was there, so
Oh,
yeah, it was bad.
I mean, did you end up having fun though? Like in all honesty.
From what I can remember,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, it was a good time. Because it was also really cool to see that, like, all right, we got these like level artists coming to our school, and it was also free. So at that time, and also now, actually, I think about it,
Yeah.
my cousin live in Virginia, so he drove all the way up just to come to this concert and stayed over. So that was yeah, it was definitely a fun time.
Yeah, I think the best concert experience I had, it was actually at a country concert, believe it or not. I went to
Nice.
see Lee Bryce. This was, I think,
Okay.
2015. And what actually ended up happening was I tailgated like 2, 3 hours before with my girlfriend at the time. And doing that when we were leaving caused my car to not be able to run. But the story gets better, though. We end up having to call AAA. We end up hanging out by where the concert was at. And Lee Bryce actually ended up coming out at one point. And I was talking all this shit like, yo, I'm going to see if he's going to sign my car. I'm going to try to get him to sign my car. So he comes out. I'm like, I have to ask him now. So I ask him, like, hey, if I drive my car over here because it's getting charged by AAA right now, would you be willing to sign it? And then he goes in like a country voice, like, oh, abso-damn-lutely. And
Oh, no way.
yeah, so I still have this car too. It's a 2011 Camry. It got paid off to me in around 2014. So right under the dash on the driver's side, I have it signed by Lee Bryce.
That's awesome.
Probably the coolest, definitely the coolest concert experience I've had. So
Absolutely, yeah. But it's always you take like the good with the bad, and the bad ended up turning awesome in this case.
yeah, definitely. But since it didn't work out with that girlfriend, I might have to try to top that with the current one. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely,
I
yeah,
can
man. Just continue the trend.
I can hear her talking shit from out here too. Oh, what was that? You got something to say?
What'd you say?
I said I love you.
Don't get me involved in this one.
Hold my weave. All right, but I have to ask, since Michael Katz was telling me about this last night, this was the first thing he told me about you. He said you had your own media company. He didn't really tell me too much about it, and I'm actually kind of glad because I don't want to know the whole story before you even come on. So tell me about this media company that you own.
So it started as literally just me wanting to see if I can build my own website, pretty much.
Okay.
It started as me going on Wix, building something, and I'm like, all right, well, if I'm gonna do this, what's something easy and also popular at the same time that I can brand? And I found the word "sick" by just turning the letter upside down to make it a exclamation point.
Okay.
And I also found out that nowhere in Jersey was there a company with the name Sick Entertainment.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, well, let me see what the website says. Of course, wearesick.com is going to take you to some doctor, medical garbage, whatever.
Yeah.
So I found, all right, let me just flip it around and make it Sick or We, and it was available for the domain name. It was available on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, it was there. So I'm like, all right, well, this is kind of a sign.
Okay.
And that's, so once I got all that, I built up like a very basic platform, started adding some of the pictures I was taking of the artists that I was, I guess, semi-managing at that time. If you even want to call it that, I was definitely handling most of their work while they would write, so I took that work off them, and eventually, I guess since 2016 through to 2018, slowly phased out the managing and started focusing more strictly on just photo and video.
Okay.
And since I'm pretty much a one-man team, my brother, if you see any of the graphics or images, or just definitely the graphics, that's my brother doing the graphic design, and any pictures, video, and anything on the social media and the website is myself.
Okay.
So it's slowly grown from doing just pretty much backyard artists in my hometown to eventually meeting, let's say, the Twins all the way in Pennsylvania. I go up to New York, go down to Philadelphia, to this summer finally doing some like festivals and stuff. So it's slowly getting bigger.
Good for you, man. That's how I feel like it's gone for me in a way, because I do stand up, and I started with like a couple gigs out here. I would get a coffee shop gig like once every couple of months when I first started, and then I started meeting more and more people. I told them that I was trying to get more into stand up, and as soon as I got a gig in New York, ever since then, I've never looked back. I've been meeting more and more people, I've been able to get more and more gigs. I'm really excited for like a few weeks from now, because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I've got like 3 gigs back to back. I'm trying to, plan out, how I'm going to stay in New York for probably that weekend, probably Thursday all the way into Saturday. Then come home that night for work, probably feeling like shit the next day, but we'll get through it.
Yep, been there, done that.
Yeah, but honestly, man, I'm just super excited for that weekend overall. I'll probably talk more about it as the show goes on, right before we get off even, but I do want to ask, I did see that you did manage a Facebook page called Ryan Downey Jr. Is that related to the business you have?
That is me. That is like directly me.
Okay.
Personal page, pretty much. I wouldn't even say it's like personal, but that is like me. And then the Sick Are We page is where more of the business type stuff goes. So if I'll post like where our next shoot might be, if we're doing like a festival, whatever, we'll go there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I have this right really quick. The Ryan Downey Jr. page, are you trying to tell me that like it's you, but it's you like involved with like music or any of your projects? Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Before, I guess, I was really involved doing Sick, because I guess I've had the Instagram for a little while now.
Yeah.
But before I was going on vacation, any general random pictures, anything that just kind of looked good in picture form, I guess, I would just post there. And then once the entertainment side started becoming more of a thing, I slowly started just tailoring the page more towards that. So on that page are each row will be 3 pictures, and the 3 pictures are all from like the same shoot or like the same theme, and I'll just move down from there, so everything's starting to look a little bit more uniform.
All right, gotcha. That makes sense. When did you decide that you wanted to like do your own business? When you started like getting more involved with video and photography, is that kind of when you decided?
Yeah, it was actually kind of a mixture of just looking at financial stuff, honestly, and I decided to make it an LLC. So that's where, and sole proprietor, so it's pretty much just myself. Well, it is myself, that's what it is. So I once the work isn't like completely consistent. To a point where, because I have a day job, I work IT and desktop support.
Okay.
So that's what I do, Monday to Friday, and then by nights and weekends, that's when I film shows or music videos or photo shoots or whatever.
Yeah.
And most of it, honestly, is just done right around my own apartment. I live right in Central Jersey, so a lot of it is easy to just kind of either get like, because in New Jersey, everything can go from very city type landscape to countryside.
Really
town.
quick. You go from Jersey City, New Egypt. That's like 2 completely different,
it looks like
areas.
completely different states, let alone towns.
That's 2 different worlds.
Yeah. And for someone that's trying to shoot different style of scenery and stuff for music videos, I mean, the fact that you have like 45-minute drives to get like different world type shots, it's incredible.
Yeah. Where exactly do you live? you don't mind me asking.
I live in New Brunswick, just
Okay.
outside Rutgers University. So not like
Oh, all right.
exactly in the university, just outside.
Yeah, like pretty close to it.
Yeah.
I actually do have a show at Stress Factory Comedy Club tomorrow if you want to come. I just got to confirm that they have me on the lineup.
Very nice. No, I
Yeah.
know, yeah, exactly where that is.
I was going to say, so I'll be in the area tomorrow, so if you want to swing by, you're more
Perfect.
than welcome to.
Sounds good. Well, I got your contact.
Yeah, I do have to just confirm really quick, probably after the show, but I'll be in touch with you about it, man.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, no problem, brother. I do want to ask you one more thing. If stuff comes to my mind, we'll get to it. But what is really just in the future? You know, for you, your business. You know, do you want to get back into like managing at any point? Tell me, like, what do you see like in your future?
Yeah, so managing, who knows? I'm not going to say I closed that door, but
Yeah.
for now, I don't foresee myself doing it.
Yeah.
What I'm more picturing is definitely trying to really up the ante with the video work that I'm doing and the photo work, making sure that it's like the best I can do for now. But I guess
Yeah.
like an ultimate goal is to expand into I guess like a nationwide type thing. I'm
Yeah.
still kind of like working on that idea that it's very very rough stages. I don't even really know what it means yet, but
Yeah.
so right now it's definitely just to I don't know if you've actually heard of a brand out of Chicago called Lyrical Lemonade.
I have not.
I can send you that page through chat.
Sure.
But it's essentially a kid a little bit younger than me. I would say he just turned 21 or 22.
Oh, wow.
No, he just turned 21. And has his own company called Lyrical Lemonade where they shoot all sorts of like hip hop and rap music videos and photo
Okay.
shoots, and they have their own festival and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, just like an East Coast version of that.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. All right, but I actually did have something else come to mind. What made you want to be a manager exactly?
Definitely I didn't want to be in front of the scenes. Music has always been around me, and I've always been listening to it. But I knew I was like, well, for sure, I'm not going to be a singer or rapper or anything like that.
Okay.
But I want to be involved in that type of thing. I just didn't know how, and I guess my dad's side of the family is military, and my
Yeah.
mom's side is all like 80s hair band rock. So I just kind of married the two,
Yeah.
and there you get like music management, quite literally.
Okay. You never wanted to like do anything like music wise? I guess that was just never your thing, or you just never wanted to do it in front of anybody?
I have crazy OCD,
Okay.
and I'm a perfectionist. So the amount of time it took me to produce a song, the guys that I was like hanging around with made like 4.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just so much of a perfectionist that I was, 1, getting nothing done, and 2, while getting nothing done, it still sounded like crap.
Okay.
Compared to the guys I was sitting next to. I'm like, you know what? I know kind of like how to make the website and how to manage it type stuff. If you can just keep pumping this out, I'll find a way to like just publish it.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I definitely, want to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate, being on the show with me, especially as last minute as it was. I really appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you having me on. This is it's been a real fun time, man.
Of course, man. Is there anything that, you want to plug in? Any events that you have coming up? Maybe any festivals? Anything you want to talk about?
For now, actually, right after this call, I'm being wrapping up editing of a music video. There's a EDM duo out of New York called Fight Club, and they just released an
you don't
album
talk
in
about
July.
Fight
What was that?
You don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the number one rule. Except these guys. No.
All right, we can talk
It's
about
funny.
Fight Club.
Every time we see them, you're not supposed to talk about Fight Club. It's the number one rule, man. But yeah, they put out this album, and it's kind of like, I guess, like Caribbean or Latin EDM.
Okay.
And we did a music video, and I'm pretty much putting the final touches and hitting the publish button tonight. So I can honestly go on for other stuff. So I can just send you links, and let you check it on out.
Yeah, no, please do, definitely. Anything else you want to bring up?
Thank you all for listening. This
All
is
right.
it's just been a fun time, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, before you go, though, there's one specific thing that I do want to mention. I'm having an end-of-the-year show Saturday, December 7th from 6 to 10 p.m. The first 2 hours of it will feature comedians, a lot of them from the New York City area that I've met that are hilarious, and that people that I'm good friends with that are going to be performing with me on the show. Hosting those 2 hours is going to be a man named Eaton Levine. I'm excited to have him. I'm having him probably on the show in October. Headlining that first 2 hours is Sharon Simon. We saw her last week. Miss you already. And there's a bunch of great comedians that are coming on. I probably will not remember all of them right now because I am still putting things together. But hopefully we can get out the flyers for you guys by next week, because we just confirmed all of our music guests that are going to be on for the last 2 hours from 8 to 10 p.m. Andrew Tirardo, he's going to be somebody that's going to come on probably with his band. Roberto Santoro's hopefully coming on. Ben Engines, Meta Noise, Stephanie Ryan, they're all people that I am going to be really excited to, bring on the show. I'm probably missing a couple of music guys as well. I might even be getting a couple more, so stay tuned for that. We might be updating the flyer for that, but I am super excited to do this end-of-the-year show. It'll be the first time that the Roundtable has done anything like this, and we've been doing this for a little over 2 years now. It'll be 2.5 then, so in my opinion, it's long overdue, but I definitely can't wait for it to happen. And Ryan, you're definitely invited. Anybody that you know that you would want to swing through, feel free. It's definitely going to be a fun time. I hope you can make it, man.
Appreciate it. No, that does sound like a fun time, and you just rattling off a whole bunch of names of people that I know. So, hey, man, why not? And I got the camera too, so I can I'll bring that out.
Hey, if you want to bring the camera out, I'm definitely not stopping you. Trust me, man.
Oh, absolutely. It sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping to, bring also a lot of people through for it. So I'm looking to have a fun time that night, and it'll be great for you to come as well. But once again, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. I had a great time talking to you, man.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, have a good one, and thanks again for having me.
All right, you're welcome back anytime, brother. Just say the word.
Yep, will do, man. I got your contact.
All right, awesome, brother. Hope you can make it tomorrow, too. Hope I can make it.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. Yeah, let me know what you hear.
All right, brother. See ya.
Cool. Yep, have a good one.
You too. All right, everybody. That was Ryan Downey, a man owning his own media and video company. I don't even know the fucking name of that thing. We're all after 45 minutes of talking, and I still don't know the name of that company. Holy shit, I'm dumb. Alright, but anyway, just want to mention a couple more things before we go. I already mentioned the end of the year show that'll be from December 7th. You heard all those names. I am not repeating that. That is a shit ton of people. Alright, but anyways, I got a lot of different shows coming up. I will be in New York this Saturday supporting Josh Postel. Hopefully I'll be at Stress Factory Comedy Club this Wednesday, and hopefully everything goes well with that if you wanted to just come check me out at an open mic. But yeah, there's a lot coming up. Al Martin Showcase will be next Saturday, August 24th. That'll be at Greenwich Village Comedy Club. What else do we got? We got John Butera. We got a show with him, I believe, at Greenwich coming up September 5th. Dwayne Burris Jr., a guy who will actually be on the end of the year show. I'll be doing his show in Brooklyn. I believe it's called at the Williamsburg Music Center. That'll be September 6th. And September 7th, I got Donnie Salvo's show. I mentioned this on Facebook last night. I got a friend of his. He hooked me up with that show. It's at Randall's Bar and Grill in West Haven, Connecticut. If you want to make the trudge on out there, that show is at 8 p.m. Dwayne's show is at 8:30, and John's show is at 7. There's a lot more coming up. Hopefully, I can be, I think, in the buzzer beater competition at the Comedy Cove next Thursday. That's hopefully. I just messaged about it today, so don't quote me. That might happen. But, yeah, no, it's been a hell of a ride, and I want to keep it going. So, you know, big shout out to Michael Katz one more time for, you know, hooking me up with Ryan Downey, and thank you for everything that, you know, you've done, helping me, you know, get the music played on here, and just helping me get in contact with a bunch of different people. You deserve it. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. But anyways, yeah, that's it for this episode of the Roundtable on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. As always, had a great time with the guest. You know, big shout out to him for coming on last minute. Like I said, Manny Sierra at one point, and before that, Felicia Madison were supposed to come on, but they weren't able to make it. Felicia, like I said, will be coming on next week, so very excited to have her on the show. And yeah, that's it for this week's edition of the Roundtable. Funny Talk with Doug Max and Tom Mangelli is up next, although we were missing about 350 pounds of that show when I was looking out at the other room they're supposed to be in, the control room. Tom Mangelli, hopefully he came back, but I didn't notice his big ass, and he's hard to miss. But anyways, they'll be on next. They got their own very special guest, so stay tuned for that as well. Anyways, tune in next week, same time, same channel, right here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. This has been John Brecco. Deuces.
You've got to be quick. You're not keeping up with me. You've got to be sick. I'm talking of a wild man in the Coming clan. It's like color of death on a cherubim.